I would have called the police that night.
Yeah.
But I didn't know I could call the police. And I want to use this time to talk to the police.
Yeah, they didn't call. They didn't. You couldn't call them.
The police are there to protect. But then I think sometimes the police are not working hard enough.
They're not. No, they're not, and they don't regard us women like calling them for help. They say, "Oh well, you know, it's gonna go away. It'll go away."
And
They don't protect women. I agree.
And sometimes
How did you find help?
I found help through a public health nurse.
Public health nurse.
Yes.
Look at
And
us.
even when police came into the situation, they didn't take the time to investigate. They were not patient.
They didn't care
to investigate, because it was one that actually called the police on me.
Yeah.
He had been threatening with police. And why? Because I have a talent in hair braiding. And whenever we went to church, I would tell people I could braid hair, and they would come to the house. They would take phone number and come to the house and have their hair braided.
Oh, yes.
But then he found out that I was doing a good job, so he started collecting the money.
No, he started collecting the money.
Yes, so when they came...
So he took the money away from you, too.
Yes, he was collecting the money. Whenever I did the job, he would collect the money. And if they paid with a check, because some will pay with a check, they will have to write a check in his name.
Oh, no.
And he will tell me that the check will clear within 2 to 3 days or 3 to 4 days.
Oh, no.
And if I ask him after 3 days about the money, he will tell me, you're living in free house in America. You are eating free food in America. You are watching free TV in America.
No.
What money are you asking for? And
oh, my God.
That
You're
was
kidding.
I'm not kidding you.
Honey, that's terrible.
That was where the conversation will end. And
oh, my God.
It continued like that.
He's a monster.
It was. Until a customer, showed me how I couldn't really talk to my customers about what I was going through. I had to always put up a front. But then some of them were noticing something wasn't right. And there was one who told me, I could help you open a bank account. I said, really? She said, yes, I could open up a bank account with West Fargo for you. Yeah. So she did. Yeah. And unfortunately for me, West Fargo sent a mail home in my name, and he picked the mail. So he found out that I opened an account with West Fargo, even though I didn't have access to go out.
No.
So he didn't know how I did it, but he knew that
you did
something had happened. So he became upset. With that, I was able to tell my customers to write, when they're paying, to pay some in cash and some in
pay
check.
Cash, yeah.
So the check they will write in his name, and then I will take the cash. Yes. So, and he found out that the money was low, and he kept saying, "Oh, so why did she pay this amount for the style she just did?" And I would say, "Oh, well, that is what she paid."
Yeah, that's right.
That's what she paid.
Said.
So it was like, oh, you are keeping money, especially after finding out about the bank account. But he didn't know how. He knew I didn't drive. I didn't know how to drive.
Yeah, this is just the same as being trafficked in this country.
It is. It's
oh my God.
It's called labor trafficking.
Yeah, it's terrible.
That's what people need to know, because traffic victims don't have it on their forehead saying they are victims of human trafficking.
Right.
And I didn't know that I was a victim of human trafficking until I got rescued and I got help and was educated about what human trafficking is.
Really.
Yes, and I'm so grateful that now I learned, and I thought, okay, I will do a book to put myself out there to tell others what is actually going on, so that victims can even identify themselves as victims and reach out for help.
If they look at this book, they'll know if they're victims. They'll know what to do.
Exactly. So they could reach out for help.
Yes.
I want victims to be able to stand up for themselves and have the strength. It's always hard, but when they see
women are strong,
a life experience, it will give them the courage to stand up and reach out for help.
That's right. Now, and where did you go for help?
And yes, so the public health nurse referred me to Alexandra House. Alexandra House.
I love them. They've been on my show.
Yes, it's a battered women's shelter in Blaine. And at Alexandra, and I had my child, is a boy, and when we got to Alexandra House, they gave us a bed.
Oh, thank God.
They clothed us. They fed us.
Yes.
They were giving me tokens to catch the bus. And Alexandra House was where I celebrated my first good Christmas in U.S.
How
since
wonderful.
I got to the U.S. before then. And
it's beautiful.
I'm so grateful to all the advocates because they did a good job. They were really supportive. They helped me. At the point that I got to Alexandra House, I was a walking corpse. I couldn't recognize myself in the mirror anymore because I had been so depressed. And they referred me to, it's now called Lee County Center for Wellness and Well-being.
Well-being?
Yes, they referred me there, and I was meeting with a therapist.
You saw a therapist?
Yes, every week. And gradually it changed to every 2 weeks.
Oh, it's good.
And gradually it changed to
once a month. You were getting really good.
Yes, and you know, I found out that I started getting healed, and the therapy was a welcome difference for me because it was my first time going to therapy. Plus
being able to talk out about it.
Yes, and in my country, if you have mental issues, you know, you must be walking naked on the streets. If you're not, then your families are the ones keeping you in the house. So it was really.
Oh, you're kidding.
I'm not kidding. So it was really a new thing for me, but I embraced it because I was looking for help.
Oh, God, yes.
I was willing to stay alive for my son, so I could take care of him because I don't want somebody to abuse him or molest him or traffic him like it happened to me.
You, right.
So I went, and one afternoon I was in the bathroom at Alexandra House, and while I was washing my hands, I looked in the mirror and I could recognize myself.
Again, finally you saw you again.
Yes. So I ran to the advocates area and told them what had happened to me. They were very happy. And when I went back to my therapist, I told her what I had experienced. And I began to see changes and changes and changes and changes.
You became the woman that you are.
Yes.
That you've always been.
Yes.
It's this monster just imprisoned you for a while.
Yes.
But now you're free.
I am, and I'm grateful.
Now you're a strong woman.
I am. I'm grateful.
You can't beat a strong woman.
Yes. And I'm so grateful to be free, and that's why I thought that it's important for me to start telling others.
Yes, you have to.
They can know that there is help available. And for those who are immigrants, there is more to it than getting therapy or being at the shelter. There is also the immigration issue.
It's true,
because at this time, I was already out of status. Mind you, he didn't document no marriage. He didn't do anything.
Oh, he didn't do anything.
I found out that it was a fraud because he was married to somebody and he didn't divorce the person. Yes, so he couldn't take me to court.
No way.
Yes.
He was married to somebody else.
Yes.
What a scumbag.
So they took me. Yes.
What a jerk.
Yeah. So they referred me to a support group for immigrant women and refugees.
Yeah,
That support group was really helpful too because I saw other women talking about their stories.
Other stories,
Yes. And at the support group, I was referred to another organization, Civil Society. So Civil Society got me an immigration attorney to file a petition on my behalf at the USCIS.
Oh, wow, really?
Yes. So they filed and they granted me a status to remain and work here
Yes.
and take care of.
Do you still
my
write
child.
for paper or news
Right now,
articles or anything?
I have a TV show, and I'm getting back into my journalism career. So the TV show is called Imprisoned Show, to educate the public about human trafficking. And I've set up a news website for that show. So now I'm writing for the news, online news.
Oh, wow,
So,
really
yes,
good.
so it has a news website where I'm publishing news stories on happenings about human trafficking within and outside the
That's really
US.
good. That's really good. So are you getting information from Kenya and from other countries about trafficking?
Yes, gradually I'm getting information from other
You'll be able
countries.
to do that.
Yes, I'll
That'll
be able
be
to
fabulous.
do that and put it up for
put it out there for people to hear.
Yeah, so they can know that human trafficking is not limited to one place or one country.
One country.
It's
all
an issue
over the
that
world.
covers every
whole
country
world.
around the world.
Have you heard of the uprising that we're supposed to do on February 14th?
No.
February 14th, all women are supposed to rise up, dance, and sing about stopping domestic violence.
Yes.
You got to check that out with Kenya,
I will.
because they're going to do it.
Yes.
They're involved in it.
Good.
Yeah, it's called Stop Domestic Violence, and we're all supposed to February 14th at like noon. I want to try to get some people, but February in Minnesota is going to be cold at the Capitol. I don't know how many people are going to come out to the Capitol on February 14th, because it's going to be really cold. But I just want you to know that, to tell some of your friends that we need to stand up and dance and sing and make lots of noise and stop the violence. Stop the violence in the United States and all other countries. Because it's a shame that you were brought here in these conditions, and that you had to go through that. It's not right at all. It's just not right. And you know what? You were imprisoned.
I was.
And that's a terrible place to be. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Because I'm an American girl, and I lived in Hawaii as a child, and I was the only American white girl there in that school. So I know how it feels to be look different than the rest of the people around us. So and it's hard. That alone's hard. Let alone being imprisoned by some jerk.
Yes.
I want you to pick up this book soon, and this is very important, and it's a very good read, people. Let me tell you, this woman knows how to write. I read this book in 3 hours. I mean, it's not like, it's just a fabulous, fabulous book, and she's just a fabulous lady, and I just love her to pieces. And she's one of the many few of us strong women that are survivors. She is a strong survivor, and I'm so happy you came on my show.
Thank you for inviting me here today. God bless you.
Thank you, darling. God bless you. God bless you. And I know God does bless you, because you're alive and you made it. Yay!
Thank you.
You made it. You survived.
Thanks.
Yay! And I'll say goodbye to all my audience out there, and all you Minnesotans out there.
Those fingers
God love you.
in my head.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
That sly come hither stare that strips my conscience bare. It's witchcraft.